Yeah, I was talking to Bill.
Oh,
I know.
hi, good evening, everyone. We have a quorum, so we'll go ahead and start our meeting. Turn the mic on. Okay, so welcome everybody. We have a quorum, so we'll go ahead and start our meeting. We're going to start by do our Pledge of Allegiance. I'll lead, so if everybody please stand. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So it's my understanding if you're a vet, you get to salute while we're doing the flag salute. So
Right.
just explaining why I did that.
Thank you.
For your service.
Oh, yeah, and everybody else that served.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and call for the approval of our meeting. Oh, first roll call, though.
Commissioner Tamori. Commissioner Tamori.
Oh, present.
Commissioner Krantz.
Present.
Commissioner Goodson.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to approve the minutes of August 10th, 2022. Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the minutes from
Second.
August 10th, 2021.
Chairperson Tamori, would you like to open it up for public comment prior to approval?
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
minutes?
Do we have any comments on non-agenda items first? Thanks for reminding me.
Mr. Chairperson, I have not received any public comment for non-agenda items. I have
Okay.
also not received any public comment for the approval of the minutes.
Okay, now we can proceed. I stand corrected. We do have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Oops.
Okay, we have
Motion carries with 3 yeses and 0 nos.
Okay, so we're moving on to the train house mural request is pretty much the one main thing on regular business, and we have a couple of the artists here that might want to address what those changes are. Ted and
We
Wayne.
do. We have Ted and Frank with us. The staff report is brought in front of you. They have met with the building owner and came to a compromise with adding some new verbiage on the wall. So you can see a example of that verbiage is the last paper in your packet. The reading says Jordan's Crossing Station across the top of the bays. And we have the artists here to discuss they submitted a letter, and the building owner submitted a letter. You guys wanna speak? If you want to hear from them, they're here.
Pastor Billy was supposed to be here. He was supposed to meet us, and he was going to explain that him and his council came up with the compromise to put the letters above the bay, above each train, and it would be Jordan's Crossing Station versus changing that whole peak. And so we're just asking for your approval, because it would be a lot easier than redoing everything that we've already done on that peak. It's, like I said, it's 26 feet high, and we'd have to get a special scissor lift. The one we've been using only goes up to about 18 feet. So, anyway.
That would incur an expense of $200 a day for about, we might be able to do it in 3 days. I think it would take 4. So we'd have to repaint the peak that's on the far left-hand side of the building. Redo the wood, that's concrete, and we made it look like old barn board. As a matter of fact, we've had people pull up and say, "Oh, those guys, those trains are coming out good. Are you going to paint over all that old wood?"
Oh.
Yeah.
We've had to explain to them that old wood is a painted illusion. It's concrete. It's not wood at all. But the item in question is Pastor Billy Spears wanted that peak to read Jordan Crossing Railroad. Well, we tried to keep it we spent hundreds of hours researching trains to make sure they were historically accurate, make sure they serviced
Oroville.
It's all going to be in the legend, what each train, what time period it was in Oroville, and what it served. And we realized that there is no Jordan Crossing Railroad. So we put Oroville Rail Yard, which was an actual historic place here. And it didn't go over well. He wanted it to advertise his business. So he came up with a compromise. Instead of changing the peak across the top of the bays, Jordan Crossing Station.
We have a thumbnail presentation for you.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do it at the same time to show you what we've done and how it would look. I know you have it on your on the paper, but it's kind of hard to see because it's really tiny. But
So
I
that's
don't know.
that's up to the commission. We have open agreement updates after regular business that the artist would come back for to give an update on how the progress is going with the. So that's the presentation they're talking about. If you guys do want to see it now, we could do that, or we could move forward with making a decision on this new edition.
It's only 12 slides. Goes by real quick.
I'm fine with seeing it now.
I believe if you have taken the time out to do that and to present it for us, absolutely. But I'm a fan from the first time I saw this. So you're singing to the choir here.
We picked up on what you said, and that first presentation,
Yes.
I was just, for the concept, I was just grabbing whatever I could find in the way of front view trains.
Which
One
is
of
really
those
hard.
trains in the original proposition is from Disneyland. Another one is from Harry Potter. I was just trying to get the concept together.
Yes.
But now, oh my gosh, we've been to the train museum. We're in contact with the director of the Portola
Yes.
Western Union Rail Society and the museum up there. We've just gotten so much accurate information. People giving us old antique photographs. We're researching this, and those trains are spot on. I mean, Ted has painted every nut and bolt on every engine. It's just astounding.
It's right here. It is right
Yeah.
on you.
Okay, thank you. So we've made a lot of progress, despite the weather conditions. This summer was just brutal. If it wasn't smoke, it was
It was
temperatures
hot,
triple
yes.
digit. Ted and I experienced trying to paint, picking up paint on the brush, putting it to the wall, and then
It would stick.
It's stuck to the wall. It really
the
literally.
pulp and the bristles are stuck to the wall. So that shut us down and delayed the progress that we were hoping to make. But now that the weather is cooler, we're just plowing ahead. If you've been taking a look at it from week to week, you can
Yes.
see in the last
Yes.
10 days, we made more progress than we did in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. So there I am, putting in the base coat for the wood, way up high. The top of the wall there is 18 feet high.
We're going to show you. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to show you exactly. He already has a sign there over the overhead door there that you can see. It says Jordan Crossing. We left that intact.
Yeah,
There's
just
Ted and I
painted
up on,
around it.
that's the lift that costs $200 a day, and that's necessary to get around the dumpster, the stairs, and to reach the peak. So there's the stairs going up to the overhead door, and the overhead door now looks like oak, and the stairs look like massive wooden beams. And there's a set of barn doors. Now, I got to tell you something funny real quick. People have been pulling up
Backing up into that, thinking that's where they're going to drop off the stuff
the
for
donations for
Carla
Carla
Mays.
used.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Ted tells them to grab the rings and see if you can get open that door.
So lifelike.
Thank you. We spent a lot of time on it. And there's Shea Locomotive number 1.
That's the one that's up above Hewitt Park.
Yep. And as you can see, the steam is belching out each side and smoke is going up on the ceiling and then coming forward and going up over the boards, over the facade. That's about 95% done. We still have some details to add to that.
That's what it started with.
That's, if you recall, that's what the wall looked like before we began. And that's locomotive 1193 in Bay 3. That's the oldest engine that ever serviced Oroville. That engine was built in 1864, the last year of the Civil War.
Yeah.
It burned wood. It was a wood-burning steam locomotive. Happens to be my favorite. There we are. We often work late into the night because we have to use projection equipment to project transparencies.
That's the behemoth.
That's in bay number 1.
That's
That train is just enormous. The train itself was 18 feet high.
and a city block long.
It was an articulating locomotive. You've seen city buses that have got a flex joint in the middle to go around corners? That had a flex joint. The engine had a flex joint to manipulate. That train, that engine was specifically built to go between Oroville and Portola. We watched the trains go through town, 5 diesels, front to back, back to front, pulling 500 cars. That locomotive right there pulled 1,000 fully loaded cars uphill to Portola all by itself. Just a monster.
See, unique for Oroville. I mean, it's the only other one is in Sacramento.
And that's locomotive 164. That's located in Bay 2. That's about 80% done.
Yeah, and that one's in Hewitt Park at the bottom.
The tracks have, since this photograph was taken, the tracks have been painted in, and we're going to do the floor in, and there's going to be little accessories here and there, red lanterns and stuff.
So that's the sign you can see above each of the train bays. That's where the sign's going to be.
Starts at Bay 2 and ends at Bay 4, and it says Jordan Crossing Station. And that's what Pastor Billy Spears has approved of. Ted and I can do that without incurring the enormous expense of changing the peak that says Oroville Rail Yard. So we approve of it. Pastor Billy Spears, the owner of the building, approves of it. And now we're looking for your approval on that.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay. So our completion date,
Thank you.
we're looking for the end of November, weather permitting.
Mike's off.
Now that the weather is cool, we can make great, and we want to thank
Progress,
everyone.
yes.
So
So,
we don't keep getting this wind.
Yep. Yes.
so Commissioner Goodson has the floor.
You answered my question, and my question was, is this an acceptable compromise for the both of you?
Yes.
And it sounds like it is.
Yeah, we were really glad that he compromised and we worked it out. Gosh, it was
So
really nice.
I don't know if this is appropriate, but I'm going to say it. I don't know if you're faith-based, but both of you truly have a God-given talent. It's out there.
It is.
I admire your stick-to-itiveness. The weather has been challenging, but you do what you do. You have a love and a passion.
Oh, that's for
so,
sure.
So if you like this change in verbiage, I love it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just want to point out one more thing that you couldn't see on the slide. There's a small sign, probably 16 by 20 inches or so, and it was blank, and it used to say parking for Carla Mays only. And Pastor Billy came one day, and he stepped up on the ladder and he ripped it off.
Yes.
And he said,
But we love Carla May.
he said, you guys paint whatever you want in that sign. So Ted painted a frame, he painted the nails, and then as a joke, I said to Pastor Billy Spears, I said, how about if we paint tickets available inside? I said that as a joke. He loved it. He thinks it's going to bring people into the store. I want to buy tickets, 2 tickets to Sacramento.
Yeah.
That's good.
Tickets, what it says now is tickets available inside.
Yeah.
And that little frame sign there. So that was something that.
That's
yeah,
priceless.
Perfect. We just,
Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing that story.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Krantz? Yeah.
No, I was going to comment. I noticed the tickets inside. I think that's beautiful. And I agree, because I think maybe this was some divine intervention that you had to work out this compromise, because I think this looks better. I think this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we don't have
Very
to go
nice.
up 26 feet and do that peak over again.
Yes.
Plus the
Just when I
expense.
don't like heights.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we have a motion to accept this change. Any other discussion? So I'll go ahead and move to accept the change.
I second.
Let's go ahead and vote.
Motion carries with 3 yeses and 0 nos.
So that was our major business. Now we're going to go to reports and discussion. Going to start with open agreement updates.
So we're moving open agreement updates to first, since we have some people in the audience that are presenting on that. We have Jennifer with Birdcage with us. That's going to be our first presenter. Birdcage's agreement is currently still open, so she's going to give an update on how the agreement's going and hopefully a estimated closure of that agreement and how everything's going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Afternoon. Like she said, my name is Jennifer. I'm with the Birdcage Theater. Our mural's actually done. I cannot find anyone to hang it for me. Here's the photos. It's all done.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's really nice.
Oh, very pretty.
It's about 15 by 20 feet. It's on treated wood. It's just needs. We are building. I don't know if you've seen the front of our building, but it's a facade, metal facade. I've had 3 different contractors say that they will do it for me, and then they never call me back and they don't do it. So, working on trying to find someone to do it. Once I find someone to hang it for me, we'll be done. So that has been our delay.
All right.
And so I'm hoping to find someone soon. And Chad actually said he knows someone, so I may have a line on someone just by coming to this meeting.
Chaz knows people all over the world. Absolutely.
So do we have any questions from the commissioners? I think this agreement was reached about 3 years ago, if I'm
Yes.
correct.
Yep.
So that's why we're just checking to see. What
Yeah, so we had actually had our mural done prior to COVID. And then just everything shutting down and me not being able to find someone. Our business has been closed since March 2020. We haven't reopened yet. So yeah, we haven't been able to find anyone to do it. So
And the artist was Charlotte Cook,
it
correct?
was, yeah, Charlotte Cook, yes.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. Next, we have Charles Gaddy with us. He is one of the NOFA representatives for the Pack Bell restored sign on his building.
All right.
Good afternoon, Chaz Gaddy.
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry, I did have something to update you. So there's been a couple things. The scissor lift was actually dropped off today. And so Ken from IMS Sheet Metal is going to be removing the drain that comes down through the center of the logo, and we're going to kick it out as far as we can to the edge to get that out. So he'll be doing that this week. We'll do the pressure wash this week. And then I do have a computer. We did a computer enhancement of the photo that I presented to you originally, and we brought that back to what it would have looked like brand new, but we don't want to do it brand new. We want to ghost paint it. So I'll send an email and with that photo, and we can get that out. So so pressure wash this week. Ken will get the drain down. We'll do the ghost painting on there. And it's just going to be, again, I don't want it to look new. I want it to look faded, but I want it to bring out the highlights of the existing sign so we can see, it's got the Pacific Telephone and Telegraph Company. The local and long distance is a bit too faded. So we'll just play with it till it gets right. and then we'll get a seal on that. And so I anticipate we're supposed to get some rain next week, I think, Wednesday and Thursday. So I would say by November 15th, we should be buttoned up. I've just been a little busy with the restaurant, but it's ready to go. So I think now that that's in, and Ken should be on that in the next day or two, get it down. He'll have everything to get back up as soon as we get it painted, and then we'll get a good seal on it. I'm still kind of looking at what to do on the rest of the building. I will pressure wash it. I don't want it to look too new then to take away from the sign. So it might be just a seal that I put on the rest of the building around the logo. But I think you've all seen it from when I got the building. There was only about a 4-foot section showing of it. So we pressure washed it from the sides because I believed that the paint back then wouldn't have actually, be all washed off because it would permeate into the concrete, which is exactly what it did. So we actually have the original logo still there, just to kind of ghost paint on. So Jack Townsend's doing that. He did a great job, I think, on the Oroville mural.
Yes.
So that's it. So by November 15th should be buttoned up, but I will get a picture out and you can see what the computer enhancement did to bring it back to what the original one looked like. Okay.
All right. Fair
Any
enough.
questions?
No.
All right, thank you for the report.
And
Yes,
I
we
actually do
appreciate
think I have someone to hang Jennifer's sign, so hopefully we can do it.
Bravo. Yes.
Yeah, you also have a signal.
Yes.
Great. So we heard from Ted and Frank about the train mural. It's going great. Looks like it's almost completed. Last we have Chrissy Riggs with us, representing the ODBA for the Performing Arts NOFA Award.
Thanks, Don.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shock you.
Positively shocking.
Electric.
So I just have a quick presentation. I know that our grant is quite different since it's performing arts and not a mural. That conceptually that's a little bit more difficult. So we wanted to give you guys a good overview. Of course, our goal is to include live performances and performing arts into our downtown events to create a unique experience that helps people understand and develop a love for the arts. That increases public exposure to local performers and artists, elevates our downtown events, which drives our whole community forward, creates community excitement and buzz, which we've really experienced so far with these additions, and then also supports a wide range of local artists to deepen the culture of art in the community. So to begin, we have our June 1st Friday, which was immediately after our grant approval, and in that, oh, I messed it up, Jackie.
You actually didn't. You can go down to the third slide.
If we want, and then I'll
Yes.
In that we had a traditional couple. So our June 1st Friday is a luau theme. So we had a couple that came and performed traditional dance and music. They switched on and off between doing those things, which was really exciting for us, something that we haven't been able to incorporate in the past, of course. Our next event, we did not host any performing artists in our August or September events. That was because that was a movie walk and then a sidewalk sale, and we felt like a performing artist just didn't necessarily fit in well without being kind of cheesy. Of course, we could have got a Marilyn Monroe or an Elvis, but we wanted to reserve those funds in order to really use them for the best possible usage. So here we have at our October 1st Friday, just a few weeks ago, we funded free scarecrow face painting since the event was a scarecrow contest throughout downtown. So this is Morgan, a local artist that did free face paintings. And then we also hired 2 live scarecrow actors who went throughout downtown. Of course, everybody really loved it. And they also hid in the sides, what are they called? They're by the crosswalks, and would be really still and then move and scare people, which was just something even if you weren't down for the event, if you just drove through, you still got a little experience. That puts us at spending $1,290 of our $9,600 grant, which is just about on track with our grant timeline. Our grant runs for the full year, and we intend to parse out that grant fund usage throughout the quarters. Upcoming, we have our Farm to Table event, which will feature local artists Emma and Will. And our November 1st Friday includes a musical artist and a live paint performer, Spray and Pray. And they'll be actually live painting that night, that fall scene on Montgomery Street with the Oroville clock. So it'll be exciting. You could walk by throughout the night and see the beginning phases all the way up to its completion. The whole item will be done that evening. So a really exciting way to interact with art. Finally, we have Two Who's and The Grinch planned for our November Christmas preview. Dance performers, Miss Claus, Victorian carolers, holiday musicians, and Santa Claus and elves. So that really fulfills the next few months. Reasonably, we can't think any far past December. And then finally, I know that one of the concerns was, how does the Arts Commission receive recognition for this? What we've done is we include recognition during our event promotion. So in the website, we talk about performing arts funded by the Arts Commission. We provide a little sign in front of the performing artists and at check-in. So people interact with that sign and see like, oh, this is funded by them. And then we also provide signage in front of the artists themselves. And then finally, at the end of the night, we and throughout the evening, we do a lot of posts about what's going on and hyping up the activities and try our best to include the Arts Commission in that as much as possible. That's it.
I have a question.
Any questions?
The funding was approved from, and when does it end? When's the sunset for your funding?
I believe it'll be in June.
Okay, in June. So you've already spent a little less than $2,000.
Yeah.
2,000.
Yep.
And I noticed it was the month of November, you have quite a few.
Yeah, that's November and December.
November and December.
Yeah.
And so what, for lack of a better way to say it, what is the payout on just these two events?
So
I'm just trying to.
Yeah, we did like an average of around $700 per event.
Okay.
The difficulty, though, is that we have more events, of course, in November, December because of the holidays. So also in our grant budget, we broke it down by quarter, and the quarter that include the holidays was our biggest quarter. Also because in, say, summer, like September, August, we do less. So we kind of cultivated it that way to really account for extra things.
So you just answered my question, because it's about the funding the event, not the individual performers.
No, it's for the performers, but we budget what that per event, what we expect to pay per performer.
All right.
It doesn't pay for any of the other event fees or marketing or event production, just the performers.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So my concern is, are you keeping track of how much participation or how many people you're reaching with each performance? Because
Good question.
well, I mean, that was my concern when we approved the grant, was, are we getting big enough bang for our bucks with the participation of a lot of people? I mean, I support everything you're doing, but I'd like to see like a humongous audience.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you can do that to draw that. But.
Yeah, so for our events that are ticketed, we're able to track how many attendees participated. For the most part, of course, the general public who comes to downtown and aren't there specifically for the event are still experiencing the art, but we're not able to track that as well. So,
Excuse me.
for example, I know that the luau, we had around 100 participants specifically for it, but again, that doesn't include everybody outside of downtown. For the Scarecrow contest, we didn't do tickets. For our Christmas events, the Christmas preview and the tree lighting, those are both very well attended events. And so I would expect a much larger turnout for those, which is another reason why we have more performers during those. So it is difficult. It's something that I could work with the committees, the events committee, to try to figure out like what was our audience for each event.
And give a snapshot of your advertising.
Yeah,
for each
we
of
primarily advertise through our website and through social media. The Mercury Register has been pretty good recently about running articles ahead of time about events happening downtown, so we've really relied on that. But our primary advertising is through social media and our website. Of course, like a lot of our events are repeat events. They just happen. It's First Friday. It's every first Friday, and so we have a really good group of individuals who just, that's their habit. That's what they come and attend downtown.
Thank you. Yes.
Sorry, it looks like Jenna had
Appreciate-
another one.
You know,
I know your face. Thanks, guys.
even with the mask on.
Thank you.
Okay, the art contest for the City of Oroville sign is there any progress? or-
Yes, so that completes our open agreement updates. I wanted to touch base on
Oh.
2 that have been completed that were from the recent NOFA. So the Cultural Center from the African American Family Cultural Center has been completed, and the dedication has also was attended by a few of you and a few council members. And then the alley mural on the Oroville Inn has been completed, and I am in talks with Mr. Tracy about planning a dedication for that, and just seeing how much he wants. The city is in favor of it, and we would like to be a part of it. So once we get some dates and more information about that, this commission, the council, and staff will be invited as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that kind of wraps up our open agreements and closed agreements from the most recent NOFAs. So that takes us to our item number 3, which is the art contest. So this body had approved us putting out the Welcome to Oroville sign art contest. So that actually ends this week. So if you know of anyone, get your applications in. It ends this Thursday at 5 p.m. We have not received as many as I thought we would. So we're hoping to get the word out a little bit more. We've been boosting it on social media. It has been ran in the paper. It's on our website. So we are just hoping, if you know of anyone in this room, I know we have artists as well in this room. So anyone you guys know, get that word out. And the next regular scheduled meeting is where we will present all of those to this body, and we can discuss moving forward with picking one.
Clarify for
Yes.
me, I'm a little vague on it. Was there an incentive?
Just to have your art on all the signs for city limit signs. So those have not been updated since our centennial, and a lot of them are missing or damaged or faded. So we saw this as a fun opportunity to get local artists involved. All ages could apply for it, and I don't know the dimensions of it off the top of my head, but they're the city limit signs with elevation, everything like that. And we just had a little bit of parameters of what needed to be on it, but we wanted the Oroville theme, so it was just very broad.
Right. So I understood. I'm aware of that.
Okay.
And I was thinking in terms of an incentive, because you said that you had anticipated a larger buy-in.
I was hoping.
And so I'm thinking, is there some type of incentive? And I just got my nod.
Yeah. There was no incentive for
There was
this
no incentive.
project. It was just a fun project. We were going to be purchasing updated signs regardless. We just figured this was a way to get the community to interact with it.
Commissioner Krantz?
So I was curious, when an artist submits their idea, do they tell you how they learned of the contest? So maybe we can gauge what is the better way of getting the word out, because I know when we have these things come up, I reach out to artists who I know, who I think aren't as involved in things that they might not hear firsthand, like the artists in the room, and I'm not sure if it ever really goes anywhere. So I'm just curious, where do people say they're hearing about this?
I can absolutely reach out to the applications I've received and see. But like I said, we have boosted it on our social media, on our website, and it has been ran in the Mercury Register, I believe, twice. So that's where I know of right now. But yeah, I can absolutely get that information for you.
I just thought if you knew off the top of your head, like what is the best way to advertise? Because I don't know, do people who don't maybe, like I said, stay as involved with things, do they know to check the website for things that might be coming up?
We do most of our promotional stuff or advertising through Facebook.
Okay.
That's our main push right now.
Right.
That's why we did kind of do one in the paper as well, to kind of get it broader and to get, maybe that generation involved with the newspaper and with social media. So that was our 2 main outlets. Like you said, most people don't go to our website for, projects or things like that, or, contests. So that's what we mainly focus on, social media.
Okay.
So when you say social media, because
Facebook.
but I don't see it in my public news feed. I don't see.
Do you follow the City of Oroville on Facebook?
Absolutely not.
That's where you would see it. That is where that is our main social media. So that is where you would see it. That makes sense.
Transparency.
So I'm glad you said that because I do follow the city of Oroville, but I often see on the comment section people say, "Oh, maybe after the deadline is passed or after an event has happened, they say." Oh, I didn't know about this, or oh, I wish I had known about this. I would have been interested. So that's why. Is it like a frequency of posts, or is there a regularity to the posts? Maybe that we could work on a little bit.
Yeah,
or?
absolutely. We could get them out more. Like I said, this one closes this week. If we don't receive the applications we want, there's definitely something this body we could extend it. I was also approached, we could have went to schools and things like that. We could have presented it that way to get more schools involved. So that is definitely something, if we want to extend the deadline, we could go that avenue as well. But yeah, our social media, we try to get out anything that's going like city related. Any of our public meetings needs to be out on our social media. We try to share anything that the city is involved in. If, any of our city staff is spotted anywhere, we try to share those kinds of things. But anything like a contest or volunteers needed or anything like that, we try to boost as well. So I know this one alone has been boosted twice, if not 3 times. So I can get the numbers that it has reached on our social media back for you guys, or just an update in an email to see the number it did reach with those boosts.
And with the next regular meeting being December 14th, we have a solid month and a half between then and now. We can extend this deadline, do a bigger push, BCOE to their arts program.
Yeah.
So if that's the will of this body, we can absolutely do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And my assignment is to friend the
Yes.
city of Oroville.
Yes, I think that's a great suggestion. Since it would be kind of a lull between our next one, we might as well extend it just to see if we get a little more attention and do more outreach, like with the schools and everything we kind of discussed. Or if you have any other ideas where you would like to see it, yes.
I do, but I want to make sure that it's okay to do this. What about reaching out to, say, like the Butte College Art Department? I just know, because I work in the school district, I just know that sometimes teachers are looking for things to present to their students to keep them busy and give them a little more experience, and local arenas before they go out into the big world. And so maybe just on a slightly higher level that way.
Good. Yes.
We don't have to vote on this, I don't think.
Yeah.
Do we?
Is that what this body would like to do? Extend the deadline for that?
I'd like to extend that deadline. Yes.
Absolutely. That's a great idea.
We can extend it through the end of November, and that will still give us time to gather all the applications and prepare the agenda for the December 14th meeting.
Perfect.
Is that great? Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so
So-
much for.
We're looking at a vacant commission seat.
Yes, so we currently have, as you can see, we have 2 vacant seats on this commission. We have opened that up for applications again. So it is now open until November 12th. So if you guys know of anyone, or if you want to get the word out somewhere else, that is open. And once again, it's on our social media and our website. Do we put anything
Question.
else?
We're also going to be advertising it out through the chamber to try to hit a different market that we didn't hit last time, because last time I tried the paper and didn't get as good of a turnout as we would have liked.
Question. Vacant commission seat, was that due to resignation or term ending?
One of them, their term was ending, and we had sent out the original advertisement to hopefully not have the vacancy before the end of the term. We just didn't get enough applications. The second one had originally requested for a 2-year instead of 4-year term, and then sent in a resignation and said never mind, that they were not interested.
Okay.
So both technically term ending.
Yes.
So if you know of anyone, open until November 12th, applications. Any other questions on that one before we move on? Okay, the next one is Plaque Options, and I am so bummed. I was hoping to have a very cool plaque for you guys to see, and it won't be done until Wednesday or Thursday. So it's the way of the world's going right now. But so we are talking about the plaques that we have discussed with this body, giving recognition to the Arts Commission on murals and any of the NOVA projects. We had discussed putting the Arts Commission logo and a QR code, so on one plaque, so there's kind of shared space. I wanted to get an example of that before we say, yes, let's move ahead. So that's what I was hoping to have for you guys. So we will absolutely have one by December because it should be done this week. Unfortunately, it wasn't done today. So I apologize for that, but that will be coming in December. So I didn't get it off the agenda soon enough. But any other questions on that one?
I'm good.
Great.
I'm good.
We don't have a section on there, but if there's any commissioner updates, anything that you guys would like to have for the next agenda?
Anything on the next agenda? I don't, no, we got our updates. I think everything's good, so.
Right.
No additional comments or concerns? We guess we'll adjourn.